Welcome to the fifth module of our course, which is modules. Very important and most widely used while we are making bigger applications using Python. So let us revisit our Python programming ladder and try to relocate our position. We started with the core Python objects, and then we studied the expressions to generate various Python objects. Later, we moved on to various types of statements to do more action, and now we are at the modules step. This video begins out in-depth look at the Python module. This video talks about this video will give you an in-depth look at the Python module. So let us begin our module journey with definition of module. Python module is the highest level program organization unit which packages program code and data for reuse. And second, in concrete terms, modules usually correspond to Python program files or extension coded in external languages such as C, Java or CS10. And we have already discussed and practically coded in the scopes video that each file is a module, and modules import other modules to use the name they define. So you may think that so far we are overwhelmed with enough topics in Python, then why do we need one more? Why? Because in short, modules provide an easy way to organize components into a system by serving as self-contained packages of variables known as namespaces. All the names defined at the top level of a module file become attributes of the imported module object. So as we have demonstrated in scopes video, if you remember, if you don't, you just if you haven't watched that scopes video, I would request you to watch that video first and then come to this section, because this course is sequential and it is a properly systematically built code. So that's why don't skip any video, you just follow the flow until unless if you are an expert. So as we have demonstrated in scopes video, imports give access to names in a module global scope. That is the module file's global scope morphs into the module object's attribute namespace when it is imported. So ultimately, Python's modules allow us to link individual files into a larger program system. So more specifically, from an abstract perspective, modules have at least three roles. The first one is code reuse. And second one is system namespace partitioning. And third one is implementing shared services or data from an operational perspective. Modules also come in handy for implementing components that are shared across a system and hence requires only a single copy. For instance, we will take one example. If you need to provide a global object that's that's used by more than one function or file, you can code it in a module that can then be imported by many clients. Fine. And now let us move on to module creation. So to define a module, a simple use your text to type some Python code into a text file and save it with a .py extension. Code a module and name it as module.py or module1.py. Whatever name you want to give, you can give it. But you have to follow the same rules that you follow to write a variable name inside the Python. And uh, clients can use the simple module file we just wrote by running an import from statement. And the next question that pops in your brain is, what is import? So import is a statement first, and second, import is like a police who goes for thief search based on name and searches everywhere. Once he finds him, he brings back the thief to police station to recover whatever he possesses which are stolen. Similarly, import statement goes for module file hunt. Once it finds the module, it brings back all the top level attributes and methods that are written in that file. These are some of the examples. Now, the from statement, which is very useful. Why? Because it allows us to use the copied names directly in the script without going through the module. Example, from math import pi. And when we use a asterisk symbol or character, we get copies of all the names assigned at the top level of the referenced variable. And the last but not least is reload function in module. Reload is a function in Python, not a statement. Reload is passed an existing module object, not a name. Reload function reloads the number of, basically reload function reloads the module and returns it. For this to happen, the module must have been before successfully imported in your Python system. So this is one example I have mentioned. So now what we will do is we will jump into our Jupyter notebook and we will try to do these exercises. And before that, we will go to our root directory and then we will open our VS Code and then we will write a module. So module is nothing but a Python file. See, this is the file, capital MODULE module.py. This is the file and I have written. So now in this there are two global scope variables, that is name. These two are input, both take input. So first one is username, second one is password. So these are global names, global scope, these are of global scope. And after that I have four methods. These are four functions I have: add, sub, div, power. So these are all different methods. So all are of global. So whatever is there inside that as arguments x comma y, these are local variables. So that's why even though x comma y is given to each and every function that is there inside this module, there is no issue with the namespace because these are local. These are local. So you can say encapsulation and encapsulation. So what's happening here is you're just packing this function as an encapsulated pill. So that's why there is no connection between this and this. So x and y, all the both have x comma y, both this also has x comma y, but there is no uh, fighting against each other. There is no problems with each other because both are encapsulated. This is encapsulated and this is encapsulated. This encapsulation is nothing but the scope of variable. Because of the scope of variables, the nature of variables making this encapsulation possible. So we have these x comma y local variables to that specific def, and add, sub, div, power. These are our global scope. So total we have 6 global scope: name, pwd, add, sub, div, power. So now we will save this file and we will go to Jupyter Notebook. So we'll begin with module creation that we have done using VS Code in our root directory. That's where I have opened this Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so just sorry. So this is my root directory. So in this root directory, I have my module, and in the same root directory, I have opened my Jupyter Notebook file. So now, so this is the module. Module is created with file name module.py in the root folder. So this is the directory of that root folder. Now the following is the code that we used for your reference, and we have created the module. So now I'm not executing this code. So I just shown this module just for your reference. So now we'll import the statement. We'll use the import statement. This is the first step. So import statement. So what we'll do, we'll import the module to access the namespace. So what is the module name I have given? Capital MODULE. Let's import. See, directly I have given two attributes, that two variables with int function it is asking. So I have to log into that module using, sorry, and done. So username and password is given. So now I got access into that module. Now what I'll do, let's look into the namespace of module and what it consists of. So the dir of module, it consists of these double underscore items. These names are inbuilt, so we don't need to worry about that. Whichever is not with underscores, those are important for us. So in this, these are all global scope. That's why we are able to see here add div name power and pwd and sub, total 6. So double underscore names are known as private names or private variables. So we will discuss this private variable concept in classes and hoops, okay, in our next module. So below which are our global scope attributes and methods. Now we will access attribute from module namespace. For that, it's simple. Use the module name, that's nothing but a file name without extension, then dot attribute, that is name. So we'll get, see, this is what I have given. This is the name I have given. And what is the password I have given? This is the password I have given when I am entering into this module. This module. So now let us use methods from namespace. So it has 4 methods, out of which we will use power. So I want 2 to the power of 5, or else I'll take 2 to the power of 2 and we'll check what is the answer. It's 4. It's absolutely working. But you haven't written that. It is somewhere else. The module was written by somebody else, but you are able to use this. That is the power of module. So now I want to use sub. Okay, subtraction 10 and then 9. It's 1. Absolutely working well. So now we will use the from statement. So to access the specific name, that is either an attribute, or method from the module namespace. So what I'll do, from a module file name and import the attribute whichever you want. I want a name here, or I will take pwd password here. Let's see. Sorry. See, that is djajf. So that's how the from statement is useful in combination with import. Similarly, you can fetch methods also. So here from this module import only add method. I want only add method. So add 4 comma 5 and it's 9. It is 9. So now the from statement, the from with asterisk statement, you'll see what it will do. So it basically get copies of all names from the module namespace. It brings all, everything. So add div name power password and sub. That's what. So basically it is as similar as importing complete module. So with this we reached to the end of the part 1 of module 5. So now next we will move on to the part 2 of the module 5, and before that I like to request you that keep watching other videos, and then keep liking it and keep spreading a message to your friends, and keep subscribing it. I will see you in next video. Thank you.